everybody, it's Brenda Chris with Movement Mortgage. It's time for my Monday Mortgage series. The last few weeks we've talked about qualifying for a new loan, and we've talked about credit, we've talked about income. Today we're going to talk about assets or down payment. So the main thing to remember about down payment is it has to be sourceable. So the main thing I want to tell you today is cash is bad. If we can't source where cash came from, then I need to remove it out of the amount that you have in your bank. Oh, and I wanted to tell you I am not at home today. Obviously my surroundings are a little different. I'm at Anna Maria Island, but the information will still be awesome as it usually is, just coming from a different location. So didn't want to miss my Monday series. So we were talking about cash, and so if you do have a deposit in your bank account, be fully prepared to show where it came from. It can't be from a coffee can that you had out in the garage. Can't be from some money you stuffed under the mattress in the bedroom. Mattress money is bad. So everything has to be sourceable. That being said, if you got some money from your Aunt Ginny and you deposited that in your account, Aunt Ginny has to be prepared to give you her bank statement to show where that came from. So just keep in mind that if somebody gives you money, that's fine as long as it's a family member and we can show where it came from, at least for FHA. So as long as they're willing to give us a 30-day bank statement to show where that money came from, that's perfectly fine. If they're not, then you let that money sit in a bank account for 2 months and then we move forward with your mortgage. If you have 2 bank statements with no deposits on it other than payroll, we're fine. We have no issue. So that is really the main thing about cash, is it has to be sourceable. The government is very particular about this, so I wanted to make sure that I told you exactly what to be prepared for. That being said, there are a lot of down payment assistance programs out there that can provide money for you, like State Housing in South Carolina can give you $6,000 in cash. However, there's a lot of fees involved with that program. So you may want to consider going out and taking out a small installment loan, sticking it in a bank account, letting it sit for a couple months. Then we don't have to ask where the money came from. Perfectly acceptable. You've got that money, it's sitting in an account, and there's no deposits, so we don't have to ask any questions. So that's one idea. The main thing about the different programs that you're going to apply for is with FHA, we're going to require 3.5% down payment. So on a $100,000 loan, that's about $3,500. On conventional, you're going to need 3% as a first-time home buyer. That's about $3,000. If you are not first-time home buyer, you're going to need 5%. So $5,000. It just depends on what your sales price is. So USDA, there is no down payment. However, you have to qualify for the program. With State Housing, also, they're going to give you $6,000 in down payment assistance, but you also have to qualify. There's income parameters, and with State Housing, there's also property eligibility. So those are things that we want to keep in mind. With investment, you're going to need 20% down. So, and that can't be gift, and it can be a 401k. 401k is the best form of savings out there because you can pull money out of a 401k easily to buy a house. There's no program requirements there. What else? Movement has a program where they're going to give you 4% towards down payment and closing costs, and there's no PMI on this program. I have another series where I talk about PMI, if you're wondering what that is. If you don't have 20% equity in your property, then you need to put this mortgage insurance that you pay every month is added to your payment. So yeah, call me if you have questions on that. I'll be happy to explain how private mortgage insurance works, but you don't have that on this program. So in exchange for that 4% down payment assistance and not having PMI, that program is a little bit higher in interest rate, and it has a 660 credit score. But it's an option for some people. There's all kinds of options out there. So what else? So if you can systematically save each and every month and you can put some money into a separate account, ideally that is the best way of doing this. If you have the time to prepare to buy a house, that would be my suggestion. If you want to go ahead and take out some money and stick it in an account, and then in a couple of months use that, that's fine too. But remember that we have to source anything that shows up on a bank statement. So if you're transferring money from this account to this account to this account and playing, the float game, we're gonna ask for all of those bank statements. And if that money moved from this account to this account, they're gonna figure that out if it's in relation to the bank statements that we have. So keep that in mind. If you're a business and you have both business accounts, personal accounts, you want to move that money into your business account and let it sit. I'm sorry, I said that backwards. You want to move that into your personal account and let it sit. If you're moving money out of, or you're using money in a business account, excuse me for my play on words today. If you're using money in a business account, we're going to ask for 12 months of bank statements from the business to make sure that they're going to do what they call a cash flow analysis to make sure that you're not going to put the business in any kind of jeopardy by pulling that money out of that account. So it's easier just to have it in your personal account, and then we can take a look at what you qualify for based on that. So, but if they see it moving from your business account to your personal account, then they're going to still want to see that cash flow analysis. So it's best to do that prior to applying 2 months. So just keep that in mind. Let's see, is there anything else? Did we talk about gifts? Gifts are fine as long as the donor is willing to give you their bank statement, and you want it to be a relative on FHA. Let's see, we talked about following the bouncing ball in between different accounts. Talked about transfers. We talked about multiple accounts. I think that's everything. So really, this is Brenda Christ with Movement Mortgage. If you have any questions in relation to what kind of money you're going to need for down payment, please give me a call or apply on my website, www.movement.com/LO/Brenda-Christ, or my email is brenda.christ@movement.com. Look forward to hearing from you with any questions you might have.